I was born in 1978 in one of the most beautiful countries in the world, Johannesburg, Ilovo Centre, South Africa. I'm using Ilovo, Johannesburg as if my mother had a house there. No, she didn't. She was just working there as a maid. I was brought up under the harsh conditions of a regime, a wicked and hostile regime of apartheid that underestimated the humanness, the humanity of people of color. Did my mother fold her hands? No, or my father or my grandmother or other people of color and say we are doomed? No, they didn't. Life continued. They accepted their fate and they were hopeful that one day the sun will shine. Thankfully, in 1994, Tata Nelson Rolihlahla Mandela, who was released from prison, was our new president, the black man, the first black president in South Africa. We experienced the joy of freedom. The whole atmosphere changed as the people of color and other races begin to mingle and mix. Truly, it was a beautiful time of South Africa as a country. I would take you down to my personal growing up in the village, the dusty, gravelly village. I did not personally experience what happened in the townships like Sharpeville, like Soweto, where there was rioting, where people were fighting physically for the freedom of South Africa. But I became part of this wonderful freedom, and I'm truly grateful. On the other side, I growing up in the village, gravelly, dusty, middle of nowhere in the northwest of South Africa, there were so much challenges. There's already challenges of the system that every person of color was involved in, plus we were in a place of poverty, a place of lack, a place where many were in despair. But we went to school. Our schools were just buildings and blackboards and chairs and desks. Wonderful. No laboratory, no library whatsoever. We did not think of any other thing, but we thought about the future. We pressed on. Our homes, personally, I grew up in a mud house. We did not know better. We did not have much. The only idea in me was that I am capable of transforming my life. I had no idea whatsoever how it will be done, but I knew that after this schooling, my life could take a better turn. Hence, I continued with the struggle of poverty with limited resources and pressed on. Every day of my life, when I put on my school uniform, I had the future in mind that definitely it would be the brightest. How does a girl I was in the village, in the middle of nowhere, end up in London, in Switzerland, in Germany, in France, in Turkey, in Israel? I love what the Russian novelist said, Fyodor Dostoevsky. To live without hope is to cease to live. I continued in these countries. I met lots of different fellow women from different nationalities, and I took all the pain of my childhood and began to teach, to give answers to these women that came to me with so much sorrow, trials and tribulations, not knowing that Perhaps I could be in the same boat, but they found a way to me. They asked questions, they cried on my shoulder, and I was willing to impart the wisdom that the universe has given me. I took my childhood challenges, painful challenges, and turned them into the light that many of these women and children, and some men, of course, were looking for. So what happened in South Africa was for our good. I taught, I nurtured, I opened my arms wide for these women. And when I saw their smiles on their faces, it gave me the greatest joy. I love 2020. I know you might be thinking I'm crazy. 2020 has been a year of lessons after lessons. You can bury your head in the sand, or you can stand upright like I did in that village and say, the sun will shine again. You can choose to see the darkness all around you, or you can see the silver lining in the cloud. Thank God for 2020. Whether you possess a tiny sliver of hope or overflow blossom of it, a mustard seed size of hope, never give up on hope. My favorite book says, hope bringeth no shame. As long as you're hopeful, you will never be put to shame. Guys, if you enjoyed our content, please don't forget to like, continue sharing our channel with your loved ones. We appreciate you again so much. Thank you so much for your time. Keep well, keep hopeful, keep living. For to live without hope is to cease to live. And as long as that beautiful breath is in you, you have to fight. Never settle for hopelessness. Never settle for despair. It's not even an option. We will see you again very soon. We love you so much. Take good care of yourself. God bless.